but it's still not connecting with me. So, the multiple quotes, yeah, totally. I agree. I understand.
So here's
But
the big thing. Here, one
yeah,
second. Here's the big thing I want you to understand as well is this was not a multiple quotes objection.
right. Okay. Smoke screen.
This was I got burned in the past and I want to make decisions differently objection. So his objection to you was what was it again? He's like, I
They
had a
hired a
contract in the past
yeah,
that I hired.
that did a terrible job. His wife, and then his wife was the one that, because he makes decisions. Yeah, sure, totally. But his wife was pissed about it. And on this, he said, he looked me in the eye. And they were about to, they were like, yeah. And then his wife led, and he was like, when I told him, okay, let's move forward, like let's just do this, man. Yeah. He was like, actually,
Mhm.
I can't move forward today.
Yeah,
I want, and like the way he said it, he had to use all of his body to,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And he sold me on his bullshit, right?
So that's the one thing that I've told everybody is like we cannot buy into a customer story. So in this case, the way that we handle like being burned in the past, I assume he said something like, "Oh man, like I hired a contractor in the past and like it went bad. Whatever happened, this, that, and the other." You just need to. The big thing with this is you need to understand what actually happened and how they made their decision making, because likely it wasn't the same way. So you need to, yeah, man, that's fine between you and I, just to see if I can help. Um, in the past, when you went with that other contractor, do you know what it was? Do you know if it was painting or what it was?
Yeah, I do. It was he was pitched on his step, like a doorstep decision
Yeah.
on the, what I mean? They started right away.
Do you know what like service it was?
Just like some kids, some like,
Okay, well, was it like this is another thing is we need to dig deeper in understanding what it was. Because if it was like somebody doing window cleaning, that's like a whole different story. And like we have to help them understand that, like, dude,
oh
like
yeah, it was fence painting.
fence painting,
Yeah, painting his fence.
painting is fence.
And apparently they paid a lot of money for this painting.
Cool. So that's fine. So the customer says, "Hey, I had a contract in the past burn me. I need time to whatever think about it. I need time to go get more quotes and stuff like that." And you just agree, yeah, that's fine, just to see if I can help. Because I've done this for a while. In the past, when you went with that other contractor, like what was your process like? Like how did you speak with this customer, or like how did you make your decision, or how did you go about finding this person? And then at that point, they'll give you the story of like how it came to be. Likely, what happened is he got 2 or 3 quotes. Likely, that's probably what happened. Most customers, if it's not in this sort of scenario, they got a couple of quotes. They decided who they thought was best, and you need to help them understand that their way of making a decision was flawed at that time. Because at that point, they probably thought that they were making the right decision. They were probably like, "Hey, man, like we got 3 quotes. The guy came, they started work right away, and I thought I was making the right decision."
He knocked on the guy knocked on the door. It was a door knocker.
It was a door knocker as well.
Yeah, door knocker, fence painter.
Okay, so that's another objection that we can handle. So let's say in the past he's been burned by a another door knocker, somebody that knocked on their door, did fence painting, and then they felt like they were burned by it. Again, we need to unravel like what happened. We need to unravel how they went about their decision making process, and then you need to use analogies in this scenario. So one analogy that I've used is like, yeah, man, that's completely fine. I get where you're coming from. Let's say, all of that aside, let's say we didn't come through a door knock. Let's say you called us. Everything that I went over, does everything look good? Likely he'll say yes because we're very professional. We do everything correct. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff. And then you have to give him some sort of an analogy. So an analogy I use, and it's kind of like corny, but I use, man, biggest thing for you is you're fearing the fact that if we're to move forward today, the same thing is going to happen. Is that fair to say? And he'll probably say, yeah, like I just want to make sure I'm making the right decision. And then you kind of need to compare it to like, cool, man, like, can I share a perspective? He'll probably say yes. You can be like, cool, man, like, did you ever have a girlfriend before your wife? Of course, you probably had a girlfriend when you were in grade 5. Have you ever got your heart broken? Probably. Did you ever tell yourself like I'm never gonna go find love again? Probably not, right? Because that would be not a smart thing to do. And so the biggest thing I want to challenge you on, man, is like I don't want things that have happened in the past to necessarily dictate the future, because in this scenario you are, right? And to a certain degree, what are we looking for? You're looking for certainty. Your wife, you guys are all looking for certainty, but the biggest thing is like there is no certainty. You can only make judgment. And like what I always tell people is like when you're 80% there, when you feel 80% comfortable, that's when you want to take the step, because you getting 2 or 3 quotes or 5 quotes, it doesn't necessarily help your decision-making process. So there's really 2 people in this scenario. There's the one person that says, hey, because of this thing that happened in the past, I'm not going to take the step. And then there's the other person that's like, because this thing's happened in the past, I know that patterns don't always repeat themselves. I trust us enough to actually want to take the step. And then you can transition into the close and get back into the game. Because like you just need to change their perspective on things.
Right.
In this
Right.
customer's point of view, he's saying like, oh, this happened in the past, it's going to happen again.
And wholeheartedly. Okay, so when you are talking about changing a customer's perspective, you have it all loaded up, right?
Yeah.
But at what point do you start believing that yourself, but also you're not just reading, or you know what I mean, just pulling something out of memory, but actually relating it to that conversation and creating a real dialogue rather than just like, oh, this is like, oh, let me go through the list of objection rebuttals and choose this, you know what I mean?
Believe everything I say, dude. Because
Yeah.
everything I say is super true. I've seen everything.
Right.
Do you think that
Right.
Do you think that painter has ever that whatever fence painter has ever done a good job?
Mhm.
1000%. They've definitely done a good job. Do you think Penfolds, like, or whoever, you think Wannick has ever not done a good job? Like, somebody's been upset before. Penfolds, they're amazing. Do you think anybody's ever been upset?
Right.
And so the way that I help them understand is like, man, like in your mind, you think you're making the educated decision, but in reality, there's a sense of uncertainty in everything you do. Even like, let's say, and you can say this to the customer, let's say we didn't do anything today. Let's say you went out and you got 2 other quotes or 3 other quotes and you took your time, you prayed on it, you meditated on it. How do we know that we're going to make the right decision? We can make like an objectively right decision, but we only know once everyone shows up, the job is done, and you're happy. That's really the only way that people know. And it's like you're always taking a guess because, and I'll ask you, Chris, have you ever sat in somebody's house that they've gotten 3 quotes before and they still weren't happy?
Yeah.
So like, how is that a way to make a decision?
Right, because you're like the 4th guy there, and it's like you still haven't made a choice. Like, at what point are you going to make a decision?
Or even people like let's say like wear their first roofing quote, but they've got painting work done in the past, and the painting was done incorrectly, even though they got a referral. In their mind, they're like, oh, I need to get 3 quotes because I'm going to make a better decision. But how do we know that getting 3 quotes will actually bring us closer to our decision?
You won't, right? Until it's done.
Until it's done. And a lot of times we don't know. Because the biggest thing in business is like it's who's showing up. It's the protocols that are around the roofers. It's the things that are happening before or when you're on site. And so this is the thing. These are the things you have to help the customer understand is like it is a harder objection to get past because he's literally been burned in the past by somebody knocking on the door.
Right.
I've had that a couple of times, but I have to give them an analogy and say like, yeah, man, that's fine. But like the biggest thing is like we can't make decisions in the future based off of our past, right? Because like, do you ever feel like that painter has ever done a good job? For sure. I'm sure they showed you tons of good reviews. It's the same thing in this scenario. Is we've done a bunch of the neighbors. We've done a bunch of people in this area. They've had a good experience. What you're looking for, and it doesn't exist, is certainty. There's no certainty in these situations. But what you can make is judgment. And when you feel you're 80% of the way there, that's when you take this step. That's what I always tell people.
I like that. Now, I think partially also is getting over the hump of just, I guess, the overall objections, kind of expecting some type of objection. Like, it's nice when, people just roll over and you can say, where should I send this? And they're like, yeah, here. But those objections, that's what I really want to get past. And I think understanding how we can help at a high level really matters, right? Like understanding that no matter who you go with, it could be a bad job, but like really actually conveying that message rather than being like, oh yeah, like is that person right for doing this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I want to agree, yeah, you're right. I want to get multiple quotes, but in my mind, also, this is the
You know, you
problem.
don't agree, bro.
I
You don't
exactly
agree.
this is the problem because that's the thing. You don't agree, but a part of me is like, okay, I'm kind of a guy that would want to get two or three quotes, right? Like I
Uh,
want to erase that fucking part
mm.
because it's a problem when I'm like, I might get two or three quotes. Like I want to get past being like, you know what? You don't actually need three quotes because
So if they're like, so just give me a scenario. Give me a scenario what the customer says.
hey man, look, I honestly like I really appreciate you coming out here.
Mhm.
It was super informational. Like this is exactly what I needed, but like I just need a couple more quotes to make this decision. That like I have a couple guys coming this week. They'll be here on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll have those numbers. And whether I decide to go with you guys or not, I'll definitely give you a call.
So firstly, this objection comes because we didn't do a good enough job the past 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Cut and dry. But like we can still handle it. Like, and so they're saying, hey, like you're awesome, but I have two more guys coming this upcoming week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why not? Why not six guys? Why are six guys not going to come to the house? Why only two?
Well, that's a really good question, actually, because at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I only need two or three to make that
Well,
decision.
where does that two or three? Like I've done this for a while, man. Like I just want to help. That two or three number, like where is that coming from? Because like I want to steer you in the right direction, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
I just don't understand enough about roofing to make a decision right now. Like, I just want to do a bit more research, find out what's out there, understand the market a bit.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I don't know how much it would help you though, because I've done this for a while. What's gonna happen is you get two other quotes. You'll see price, and then you'll be like, okay, cool. Then I'll make my decision. But the biggest thing is like us getting more quotes won't necessarily help us in our decision making process. All of that aside, quotes aside, 7 people coming to the house to price a job aside, do you actually want to get the roof done this year?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, why though?
I really don't want to leak and I want to be proactive, get ahead of it.
And I'd say that's the biggest thing, man, because like let's say we did have 3 quotes or 4 quotes or 7 quotes in front of us. How do you usually go about making your decisions?
Well, Chat GPT probably punch them all in and just see what it comes out.
That's no way to make decisions, man. AI is no way to make. How did you make decisions 2 years ago when AI wasn't existing?
Google.
Um, biggest thing is, man, is like I don't want us to be relying on AI, Google, or anything to make decisions because, like we said earlier, like this is a roof you've been wanting to do for a couple of years. I don't want us to go down this rabbit hole where it's like, hey, it becomes a next year project, and then 2 years later down the line project. Because over time, what happens to the price of things?
Yeah, it's going up. Yeah.
And like I almost wish you did this roof 2 years, not because there's like an immediate issue, but because roofs come in cycles where it's like a 20-year cycle. Now we're at 23, 24 years old, where if you did this 2 or 3 years ago, you would have saved 4 or 5 grand. And like the position we're in right now is we're essentially paying 5 grand for indecision. Because there's really two people in the scenario. Would you say like this is it's like a pretty big project, right?
Yeah, massive.
And
It's a
like
lot of money.
I've done this tons of times. I sit in front of people all the time. Like your armpits are sweaty. It's an uncomfortable thing to do. But that's natural. The way I think about getting a roof, especially in your situation, have you ever been like skydiving?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know that when they rip open the door and they say jump, 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 it's like you hesitate for a second and then it gets incrementally harder as it goes on.
100%.
It's the same thing with the roofing, man, where I could give you all the information. I could be the informational guy. I could head out and you think that it's helping you, but in reality, I leave, the decision becomes incrementally harder, where it's like, oh, you know what? I'll get 2 quotes and then 3 quotes and then 7 quotes. I don't want that to be the situation for you. And there's really two people in this scenario. There's the one person that says, hey, I'm going to get 7 quotes, push it, potentially pay more. And then there's the other person, which I feel like it's you, where it's like, hey, I've been pushing this off for 2 years. I'm already paying 4 or 5 grand more than I should have. And he knows that actually taking this step and protecting the home is what he needs to do.
Mm.
And so the thing I would challenge you on is to be that person that actually take this step because you know that you have to get it done. You don't want to, but it's something you have to get done. And so what do you say, man? Let's not keep pushing us. Let's take the step and let's make sure that we protect the home.
I like that. That's really good, dude. You know what I recognize out of that entire dialogue of conversation is not so much about what you're saying, because it really does matter, but it's the energy in what you say it, which is the rising of the the climax of the idea of being challenged
Mm-hmm.
on my beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And that's tough. Anybody getting challenged on beliefs, like, it's kind of, there's a little bit of tension of
Mm-hmm.
their beliefs. But when you listen after a while, when you start to come down and you start to understand, it's not so much tension, but more so like analogies and stories, and kind of like, okay, I perceive, I'm starting to understand your perspective a little more. But it's disarming, because then you go to a word track that's almost like, hey man, let's be the guy. Now you're not challenging my belief, but challenging, me. And it kind of feels like you're right a little bit here.
You just want to like give people another perspective, and like I don't expect like the first 30 minutes of the presentation, it's like we do that to like build the trust, to seed doubt. The end is really just like us getting over a couple of small objections. The only objections you should really be getting at the end are like, do I have to do today, or something surface level? Like I usually get 3 quotes. It's just the way I've always done things.
Hmm.
And then you handle that objection by saying that's no way to be making decisions.
Do you, when you get the other objection quotes, like, how many times are you closing those type of deals?
It just depends if it's a real if it's the real objection.
Right. If it's a real objection,
Yeah, if it's a real objection, you can get past it every time.
you're getting past it every time.
If it's a real
Yeah,
objection
yeah,
where they're like, dude, like, and they like us and they like everything,
yeah, yeah.
you should be able to get past that, because it's like at that point, if they trust you, if they feel good about you, if they feel good about the company, and they're like, dude, this looks amazing. Like, I'll definitely go with you guys.
Hmm.
Like, I have this rule that I always have to get 3 quotes.
Right.
And then you just agree, challenge, shift perspective, and then move into the close. Because like, dude, like you can be like, cool, man, that's fine. Like I've done this for a while. You said 3 quotes, why not 5?
I like that too. Yeah. You said three.
And then they'll be, oh, I think like 5 is overkill, or I don't know, I've just always done 3. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Like a lot of people do things just because they've done it in the past, right? The thing is like a roofing, like you've probably never bought in a roof. Like this is the first time you're buying your roof, and so us getting 3 quotes like won't necessarily help us, right? Because you'll get 1 quote, us we're fair. You'll get 1 quote that's really expensive. You get 1 quote that's really cheap. What do you do then?
Right.
How has that helped your decision making process? Right? Us getting 3 quotes, and I struggle with this one because like you getting multiple quotes, like in your mind, you're like, I'm making the right decision, I'm doing the right thing, but in reality, like there's thousands of roofing companies out there. The biggest thing for you, all of that aside, you actually want to get the roof done this year?
Hmm.
Okay, why though? And then they'll give you the, well, like I just know I need to get it done, man. Like it's just something that needs to get done. But yeah, like that's the biggest thing. And like the reason I asked earlier, why not 5, is like in our mind, like we think getting 3 quotes is going to help us, but in reality, it just doesn't. And then you can transition from there.
Hmm. Yeah. So perspective switches. Okay. Um, that's probably the biggest one I'm dealing with right now, is multiple quotes. Um, I'm good with, oh, I didn't know we'd have to pay today. Like, I can get over that. Um, Multiple quotes. What's the other one that I'm getting?
So a simple one for the multiple quotes, and there's the video that I put out, but another simple one for the multiple quotes is like, yeah, guys, that's fine, I guess. Just to see if I can help, because I'll take a look at my calendar. Like we can break a couple of things down. Let's say you guys did have 3 quotes in front of you, or you got 5 quotes in front of you. You're looking at them all. Obviously, you're not a roofer, so they're just going to look like a bunch of different things with numbers on them. How do you usually go about your decision-making process? And then they'll be like, well, we'll look at the price, we'll look at the materials, we'll look at the company and stuff like that.
Yeah, just do our research, our due diligence, our due diligence. That's
Yeah.
you know.
So the due diligence, like brief me on that. What does that look like for you guys? Oh, we'll talk to a couple of people. We'll do. Fuck, it's really tough when you get 7 objections at once.
Yeah, what does do at that point? Is that just a smoke screen? They just don't trust you.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like that's what the
Yeah,
whole presentation is for. If they're
right.
like, yeah, cool, this all looks good, I'll just do some of my due diligence.
Due diligence sounds like I don't trust you, and I want to do more research on your company. Actually, everything you're saying, research on Gav, like everything you said is great, but I don't trust the words that came out of your mouth.
Yeah, so if they say like I've had people that said like I just want some references, that's something that you can get past.
Yeah,
Like if they're like, dude, this all looks good. Like I just want a couple of references and then yeah, we can go from there.
I don't ever get the references. I haven't really gotten a lot of.
References come up, you just deal with it. Like, yeah, man, that's completely fine. I can send you a bunch of references.
Actually, I have. They'll be like, "Oh, what houses have you done?" I usually just pull up sales rep. I'd be like, "Look at all these houses, dude." Like,
Yeah. You just got to be like the ideology behind the references is like they think references is gonna help them trust you more.
yeah,
But the way that we need to go about it is, yeah, man, that's fine, I guess. Let's say I did send you a bunch of references. Let's say I sent you 10 references. Do you think I'll send you references of people that like couldn't care very much to talk about us, or do you think people that are very happy? Probably people that are very happy. So how do you feel that would help you? Me sending you 10 people that are over the moon? It wouldn't. I think the biggest thing is it comes down to certainty, where like we're all looking for a sense of certainty on the project, but like in reality, roofing is roofing. Yes, we have all of our protocols in place, but like things can happen. And so like I don't want the reason for us not to take the step is based off of being based off of something that like we can't really control. So that's the kind of ideology that we have to go behind when we're dealing with the references.
Mhm.
If it's the real objection.
Right. If it's a real objection, I think a lot of this really comes down to just doing a great job on the presentation, and even small little things like ums and ahs, and like the tiny things. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Like these things take away from the presentation. Mastering that, there shouldn't be too much towards the end, right?
No, towards the end, dude, like you should really just get like, do we have to do this today? I didn't really think I was gonna do anything today. I'll get like I just need one day to think about it. Like everything looks really good, but just give me one day to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, dude, you like I only sat in I think one home last week or maybe 2 homes last week. Oh yeah, one home and 1.5. The guy was an idiot. The other guy. And like I pushed pretty hard. Like I pushed to the point where they were like, "Okay, now you're pressuring me."
Are you serious? I'm always scared. I don't know why the fuck I'm so scared to get to that point. But I pussyfoot out like pretty early when I probably should push a bit more.
So you have to understand that when they say that, they're trying to take frame from you. Like they're trying to be like they're trying to take the frame away from you and control the conversation.
Right.
Luckily, it wasn't like she wasn't like over. Like I closed it.
Oh, you did close it.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
What? Hold on. The one where they were like, now it feels like pressure.
yeah, she's like, okay, now you're like pressuring me, man.
And she still closed.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I think I doubled down on it. I'm like, yeah, there's lots of pressure. No, I'm just joking. But you know the thing I said about the armpits?
Yeah.
Like I just made it known that like them feeling uncomfortable is like a normal thing to do because you're making a 20. I didn't say this, but like in their mind, they're making a $20,000 decision, 25,000, 30,000, whatever it is.
Right.
I was like, I don't know what I said. I should have recorded it, but she said like, okay, now you're like pressuring. I'm like, okay, come on. I said that. That's what I think that's what I said. I was like, oh, come on. Like, guys, like this isn't meant to be like the easiest thing in the world to do. Like I've done this tons of times, and if I can level with you guys, it's normal to be uncomfortable. Like I've done this tons of times. I already know both of your armpits are sweating. Like I've done this tons of times. And that instantly changes their perspective, or that instantly like shifts their focus.
Yeah, they're like everybody goes through this.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, shit. And I actually saw the guy point after, and he did have tons of sweat.
Yeah. That's crazy,
yeah.
dude. I think that's time too. Like the time you've put in, the reps you've put in, even just knowing that you're running this company up and like doing a fucking phenomenal job gives you a lot of confidence to say these words and like,
It's
you
just
know,
like, dude, there's like so much stuff that goes on, but like you need to have the swagger to say whatever you want within
right.
reason, right? Like it depends if they're like, okay, dude, now you're like pressuring me. Like it depends if they say it like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's different.
If it's friendly.
Yeah, she was like, oh, okay, now you're like, now it feels like pressure. Now it feels like you're pressuring me. She said that, and I'm like, come on,
Mhm.
pressure, guys. This is completely on you. I'm here as a source to help because I've seen so many people in this exact same situation as you, where it's like we go years without being able to take the step on the roof. This is not meant to be comfortable. This is not. Like this is an uncomfortable thing to do. You're doing something for your home, but and then I go on about transitioning.
Mhm.
I make it known that like every time I close, I make it known that this is not a comfortable thing that to do.
Right.
It's not. Um, and like I use the skydiving analogy. Another analogy you can use about people that are wanting to take time is ripping off a band-aid,
Mhm.
where it's like, yeah, man, like I consider getting a roof kind of like ripping off a band-aid. Like we know it needs to be done because the band-aid is now making that film around your skin, and you guys know that the roof has to get done. Have you guys ever ripped off a band-aid slowly? You have. It hurts. It's the same thing with roofing, where if I leave and you take an extra day, it becomes that much harder to rip off the band-aid, and you find every single reason why you shouldn't do it.
Mhm.
And so,
What about the situation like with these guys where I went Murray and Maureen or whatever the fuck her name is, and they loved it, and then this they sent the email today like, hey, we're going with someone else, and I feel like you motherfuckers, you know?
so you, dude, here's the other thing I want you to understand is like you didn't help them. Like
No.
you didn't help them by because now what's gonna happen is they're gonna go to another contractor, and there's a chance that they fuck them up, or there's a chance that they're not as responsive, or there's a chance that they don't have foremans and stuff like that. Like there's a high chance of that. And so like if they're in the house and they're like, what give me exactly what they were saying to you.
Um,
Like
what part?
like we really like you, like we want to do it, we just need one day, or what they
Yeah,
say.
yeah, that was exactly it. Like you did an amazing job. I even said like, do you think these other contractors are gonna come and do what I did? Like, I'm very curious. Like, what do you think you're gonna get out of these like other, you know, other quotes? But you know, and even he was like, well, no, probably not. But but it was just like bullshit. It was actually just bullshit.
There's certain
It
times,
was
and
bullshit.
I do this sometimes. I'm like, guys, allow me to be the person that helps you in this process. Like I literally tell people that, like through discomfort, I'm like, guys, everything aside, allow me to be the person that helps you take this step. Because like, yes, information is great, but I'm here to be the person that helps you. Like my job is not to be the information guy. My job is to help you guys take the step for yourselves, not for me, because I'm good no matter what. Don't do anything for me. We'll do 1,000 roofs this year. We'll be fine. But allow me to be the person that helps you with your with taking the step, especially if your
Just
personal
like that.
well.
Allow me to be a person that helps you take this step. Yes, information is great, but what was the last thing you said?
Sorry, say that again.
Just allow me to be the person that helps you take this step. Yes, obviously, information is great, but
Information is great, but like my job, guys, and like soften your tone. My job, guys, is to help families with the process of doing the roof.
this process. Perfect. I wouldn't be helping you. Nice. Yeah, that's solid. So yeah, I think that's a lot of it comes down to the conviction and actually believing that I'm helping them rather than them getting multiple quotes. You know, and
Is
I
there
know we're great, like we're great in so many different ways, and I think understanding that like how these other companies move is important, or how they, you know,
so
they're not like us, but understanding that will be big.
so the big thing, and it's why like people why even like big contractors choose us. There's this one guy who like chose us because he knew that if anything went wrong, we would respond and come fix it.
Mhm.
And like the biggest thing with roofing companies is they will just be the same guy hammering the nails is the one picking up the phone. And like people pay for like responsiveness, they pay for being responsive. Like our VAs are available 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and then 6 p.m. on Sundays. Not to mention all of us that respond within seconds.
Yeah.
So like that's a big thing people pay for. And like even now we just hired another foreman. We're hiring 2 more foremen. So shit like what happened on your job doesn't happen.
Mhm.
It's
But
like, dude, when you're doing 40 jobs in a week, it's like there's a lot of fucking jobs going in.
shit's gonna happen. No, shit's gonna happen.
No matter what, it's construction, right? Like,
Yeah.
like if you're doing that many jobs, it's like you do your best. But I would say those are like the biggest things. These are more like meta lessons than anything.
Yeah.
These are us. Just click that. Yeah, these are more meta lessons of us understanding that like we need to help this customer make a decision, otherwise they'll make the wrong decision.
Mhm.
So those I would say are the biggest things.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, this is good. I'm gonna study this. You want to send me this?
Yeah, I don't know how to get the recording, but I'll try.
What's your email?
Stop the recording.